Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're jumping right into the August 13th trial of internet personality Johnny Somali, a day in court that has been called nothing short of a complete legal disaster. And honestly, that one phrase from a legal analysis just perfectly captures what went down in that Seoul courtroom. It was a day of stunning blunders, procedural losses, and, you won't believe it, outright confessions that have totally changed the game here. People who were actually in the courtroom saw a completely different Johnny Somali this time. He looked gaunt, thin, with these really deep circles under his eyes. One person even said his deep circles had their own circles. This was a massive change from before. This time, he just looked totally resigned to his fate. All right, so let's get into the nitty-gritty. We're going to see how the defense's entire strategy just started to fall apart from the moment the hearing began. So the defense tries to come out swinging, right? They're attacking the prosecution on procedural grounds, but it completely backfired. The prosecutor fired back hard, and the judge just immediately shut it all down, sided with the prosecution, and basically said, this is not an issue, move on. A huge loss right out of the gate. And from that first loss, things just started to snowball. What came next was this cascade of guilty pleas, one after another, that just blew a massive hole in his case. So what did that cascade add up to? A pretty shocking number. By the time this one hearing was over, Johnny Somali had pleaded guilty to 6 separate charges. 6. That officially makes him a repeat offender in the eyes of the Korean court. Let's break down what those were. And when you look at the breakdown, you really start to see the pattern. We've got 4 counts of obstruction of business. We're talking incidents and a 7-Eleven, Lotte World, and 2 different times on Seoul buses where he was blasting loud music and North Korean propaganda. On top of that, you have 2 other minor crimes they'd already established. Yeah, the whole picture just got a lot worse for him. Okay, but check this out. The way one of these pleas happened is kind of wild. So for the Lotte World charge, he first pleaded not guilty. The defense was probably rolling the dice, betting that the key witness, an employee from the theme park, just wouldn't bother to show up to court. Yeah, that was a bad bet because the Lotte World employee, she showed up. And she was highly motivated and ready to testify. The second they saw her there, the defense just completely folded. They immediately switched the plea to guilty. I mean, what does that tell you? It tells you they had absolutely no way to fight it. All right, now we get to the big one, the most serious charge of them all, the deep fake allegations. And what happened here? Well, you could argue this was the single biggest screw-up of the entire day. So the defense's whole argument, their entire strategy here was kind of strange. They basically argued that Somali was just too technically incompetent to have actually created a deepfake video himself. Their whole point was, since he didn't make it, he must be innocent. But here is the fatal flaw in that logic, and the prosecutor jumped all over it. See, under South Korea's deepfake law, it doesn't matter who created the material. The law is crystal clear. It punishes anyone who distributes or publishes it. Who actually made the video is completely irrelevant. And this is the knockout punch. In trying to argue his client didn't make the video, Somali's own lawyer says in open court he admits distribution but denies production. He literally confessed to the crime, as it's written in the law. It was an unbelievable, total self-own. And believe it or not, the bad day wasn't over yet. The court just kept handing the defense procedural losses, and you could tell the judge's patience was wearing really, really thin. So first, the defense fought tooth and nail to stop the deepfake victims from testifying. But nope, the judge sided with the prosecution again, ruling that the witnesses would absolutely be allowed to take the stand. Then, something happened that legal observers said is almost unheard of in Korean courts. The defense asked for extra time, 25 minutes, to question each witness. The judge's response? Denied. They got the standard 15 minutes, and that was it. So why is that such a big deal? I mean, it's just 10 minutes, right? No. It's the judge sending a powerful signal. It suggests the court thinks the defense's arguments are so weak that they don't even deserve an extra minute of court time. It's basically the judge saying, I don't think you have anything useful to ask. So, wow. After a day like that, a day just filled with confessions and legal defeats, you have to ask yourself, where does the case against Johnny Somali possibly go from here? Well, the stakes are incredibly high.
Even if you forget the deepfake charge for a second, the standard sentence for the 6 charges he has already pleaded guilty to could easily land him in prison for more than 4 years. The maximum is 12. This is serious.
And we're not going to have to wait long to see what's next. The trial picks back up on October 29th, and that's when the deepfake witnesses are scheduled to get on the stand and testify against him. And that leaves us with the final, critical question. After a day where the defense strategy completely crumbled, where his own lawyer effectively confessed to the most serious charge, and where the judge seems to have had enough, what possible defense does Johnny Somali have left?